You thought you knew the whole story. Think again. What you witnessed in part 1 was just the beginning, the calm before the storm. Now, in part 2, secrets unravel, lines are crossed, and nothing will ever be the same. If you're ready for the truth, stay with me, because this is where it all falls apart. Before we begin, kindly represent where you're watching from. By dropping your country name, your neighbor might be watching too. Olivia in custody. Nathaniel looked like he'd aged 10 years. I'm sorry, he said, for all of it. For bringing you into this mess. For not protecting you sooner. You couldn't have known. I should have. I knew what she was capable of. I just didn't want to believe it. A doctor came out. Mr. Buchanan, your son is asking for you. Can she come too? Nathaniel gestured to Elara. Of course. They followed the doctor to Luke's room. He was in a hospital bed, IV in his arm, but his eyes were open. Dad, he said weakly. Nathaniel rushed to his side. Hey, buddy, how are you feeling? Tired. My chest hurts. I know. But you're going to be okay. Luke's eyes found Elara. You saved me again. You saved yourself, Elara said. That recording? That was so smart. I thought if I recorded everything, we could stop her. Tears filled his eyes. But then that man came, and he pushed me, and I couldn't breathe, and... Shh, it's okay. You're safe now. Luke reached for her hand. She took it. You're a hero, he whispered. So are you. Nathaniel watched them, something profound in his eyes. Elara, he said quietly, can we talk? Outside. She nodded. They stepped into the hallway. Nathaniel looked at her for a long moment. I can't ask you to stay. What? After everything Olivia put you through, everything this family has done to you, I can't ask you to stay at that house. Elara's heart sank. Are you firing me? I'm setting you free. Free? Elara stared at him. What does that mean? Nathaniel pulled an envelope from his jacket. Severance pay, 6 months' salary, plus a bonus for saving Luke. Twice. Elara looked at the envelope. Didn't take it. You're paying me to leave. I'm paying you to have choices, something you've never had working for us. And if I don't want to leave? Nathaniel's expression softened. Why would you stay? Maybe I have my reasons. Before he could respond, a nurse approached. Mr. Buchanan, there are detectives here. They need to speak with your son. Nathaniel tensed. Now? He just almost died. They said it's urgent. Something about evidence. They walked back into Luke's room. 2 detectives stood by the door. A man and a woman, both in suits. Mr. Buchanan, the woman said. I'm Detective Morris. This is Detective Chen. We need to ask Luke some questions about the recordings. Luke sat up straighter in bed. I made copies. Both detectives looked at each other. What kind of copies? Morris asked. Lots. I knew Mom would try to delete them, so I hid them everywhere. Luke pulled out his phone from under his pillow. I sent them to Dad's email, to the cloud, to my school account. I even posted one to a private YouTube video that only I can see. Chen whistled low. That's actually brilliant. How many recordings do you have total? Morris asked. Luke thought for a second. 12. Maybe 13. 12? Nathaniel's eyes went wide. I thought you only had a few. I've been recording for 3 months, every time Mom talked about Miss Elara. Every time she talked to that man. What man? Morris pulled out a notepad. I don't know his name, but he came to the house 5 times, always at night. Mom paid him cash. Can you describe him? Tall. Bald. He had a tattoo on his neck, like a snake. The detectives exchanged looks again. We know who that is, Chen said quietly. Morris turned to Luke. These recordings, can you send them to us? All of them? Every single one. Luke's fingers moved across his phone. Sent. Morris checked her phone. Her eyes widened as she scrolled. This is enough to put her away for years. Good, Luke said. His voice was hard. She tried to kill Miss Elara, and she doesn't even care that I almost died. Nathaniel put his hand on Luke's shoulder. You're the bravest kid I know, Morris said. What you did? Most adults wouldn't have the guts. I just didn't want her to win. Chen smiled. She won't. Not with this evidence. The detectives left. The room fell quiet. 3 months, Nathaniel said finally. You've been carrying this for 3 months? Luke nodded. I was scared. I didn't know if you'd believe me. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. It's okay, Dad. No, it's not. Nathaniel sat on the edge of the bed. I should have seen what was happening. Should have protected both of you. Luke looked at Elara. Are you leaving? I don't know. Please don't. You're the only one who's nice to me. That's not true. Mom was never nice. She just pretended when people were watching. The truth in those words cut deep. I need you to rest, Nathaniel said gently. The doctors said you need sleep. Will you stay? Of course. Both of you. Elara looked at Nathaniel. He nodded. Both of us, she said. Luke smiled, closed his eyes. Within minutes, he was asleep. Nathaniel and Elara sat in silence. Finally, Nathaniel spoke. He recorded everything because he knew I wouldn't act. An 8-year-old had more courage than I did. He's your son. He learned it from somewhere. Not from me. From you. Elara shook her head. I just did what anyone. Stop saying that. Nathaniel's voice was firm. Stop pretending you're ordinary. You're not. He stood, walked to the window. When I saw you jump in that pool the first time, I thought you were crazy. Reckless. Maybe I was. No, you were brave. You saw someone drowning, and you didn't hesitate. Didn't think about yourself. Just acted. He turned to face her. I've spent 15 years thinking about myself, my comfort, my money, my reputation, and it made me a coward. Nathaniel, Luke recorded everything because he knew I'd need proof to finally do something, because words weren't enough. My son had to collect evidence like he was building a legal case. What does that say about me? It says you're human. It says I'm weak. Then get stronger. The words came out harder than she meant. Nathaniel stared at her. You want to make this right? Elara continued. Then stop apologizing. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, and start being the father Luke needs. And what about you? What about me? What do you need? Elara stood, walked toward the door. I need to think. She left the room, left Nathaniel standing there, left the envelope of money on the chair. 3 days later, the trial began. Not a full trial. A bail hearing. Olivia's lawyers fought to get her out of jail, argued she wasn't a flight risk, that she had a child who needed her. The prosecution disagreed. Elara sat in the courtroom, front row, Nathaniel beside her, Luke at home with Maria. Olivia walked in wearing an orange jumpsuit, hair pulled back, no makeup. She looked small, broken, until her eyes found Elara. Then the hatred returned. All rise, the bailiff announced, the Honorable Judge Patricia Walsh presiding. Everyone stood. The judge sat, reviewed the papers in front of her. This is a bail hearing for Olivia Buchanan, charged with conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. How does the defendant plead? Olivia's lawyer stood. Not guilty, Your Honor. The prosecution may present their case. The prosecutor, a sharp woman in her 40s, stood. Your Honor, the defendant hired a contract killer to murder her employee. When that failed, the same hitman attempted to drown her 8-year-old son to silence him. We have recordings, text messages, financial records showing payments to the hired killer. She pressed a button. Luke's recording filled the courtroom. Olivia's voice. Cold, clear. I don't care how you do it. Just make sure it looks like an accident. People in the gallery gasped. The judge's expression hardened. We also have this. The prosecutor played another recording. Olivia and the hitman talking about Luke. The kid saw me, started asking questions. So you tried to drown him? I tried to scare him. You idiot. That's my son. The courtroom erupted. Order! The judge slammed her gavel. Olivia's lawyer jumped up. Your Honor, these recordings were obtained illegally by an 8-year-old child protecting himself and others. I'll allow it. The lawyer sat down, defeated. Does the defense have anything to add? The judge asked. Mrs. Buchanan is a pillar of the community, a mother. She made mistakes, but she hired a hitman. The judge's voice was ice. That's not a mistake. That's a crime. Your Honor, she has no prior record. Bail denied. Olivia's face went white. What? No. You are a danger to the community and a flight risk. You will remain in custody until trial. You can't do this, Olivia screamed. I'm Olivia Buchanan. In this courtroom, you're prisoner 4782. Bailiff, remove her. They dragged Olivia out. She fought, screamed, looked directly at Elara. This is your fault, all of it. You ruined my life. The doors closed behind her. The courtroom buzzed with whispers. The judge addressed the prosecutor. Trial date? 2 months, Your Honor. Said it. This court is adjourned. Everyone stood. Nathaniel exhaled. It's really over. For now, Elara said. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed them. Mr. Buchanan, how does it feel knowing your wife tried to have someone killed? Mr. Buchanan, are you divorcing Olivia? Mr. Buchanan, is it true you're involved with the victim? Nathaniel put his arm around Elara. Protective. No comment. They pushed through the crowd, got into the waiting car. The driver pulled away from the chaos. That was a nightmare, Elara said. It's not over. The trial will be worse. I know. Nathaniel looked at her. You don't have to testify. I can keep you out of it. She tried to kill me. I'm testifying. It'll be brutal. Her lawyers will attack your character, dig into your past. Let them. I have nothing to hide. They drove in silence. Finally arrived back at the mansion. Maria opened the door. Luke's been watching the news. He knows. They found him in the living room, eyes glued to the TV. The headline read, Billionaire wife denied bail in murder-for-hire plot. Olivia's mugshot filled the screen. She looks different, Luke said quietly. She is different, Nathaniel said. Without the money and power, she's just ordinary. She's not getting out? Not until the trial. Luke turned off the TV, looked at his dad. What happens now? Now we rebuild. The 3 of us. 3? Nathaniel looked at Elara. If she'll stay. Luke's eyes lit up. You're staying? I haven't decided yet. Please, I don't want another housekeeper. I want you. Luke, I'm not. I know you're not just a housekeeper. You're family. The word hit Elara hard. Family. She'd never had that. Not really. Let me think about it, she said softly. That night, Elara couldn't sleep. She walked through the empty mansion. It felt different now. Lighter, like a weight had been lifted. She ended up in the kitchen, her old domain. Nathaniel was there, making coffee. "Couldn't sleep either?" he asked. "Too much in my head?" He poured 2 cups, handed her one. They stood in silence. "I meant what I said," Nathaniel finally spoke. "About rebuilding. I want you to be part of it." "As what?" "Your employee?" "As whatever you want to be." Elara met his eyes. "And what do you want me to be?" Nathaniel set down his coffee cup, stepped closer. "I want you to be happy, safe, free to choose your own path." "That's not an answer." "Then here's my answer." He took her hand. "I'm falling in love with you." Elara pulled her hand back. "Don't." "Elara, you're confused, guilty, grateful. That's not love. You don't get to tell me what I feel. And you don't get to make me a rebound from your nightmare marriage." Nathaniel flinched. "That's not what this is." "Isn't it? 3 days ago, your wife was arrested. Now you're confessing feelings? That's not love. That's trauma." "Maybe it's both." Elara shook her head. "I can't do this." She walked toward the door. "Then what do you want?" Nathaniel's voice rose. "You won't take the money. You won't leave. You won't stay. What do you actually want?" Elara spun around. "I want to stop being someone's Zhou Mingqiao." "What?" "Rescue. Project. Guilt trip. Whatever you want to call it. I saved Luke. That doesn't mean you owe me your heart." "This isn't about owing you." "Yes, it is. You feel guilty, so you're trying to fix it by making me something I'm not." "And what are you?" "A housekeeper who got dragged into your family's war." The words echoed in the kitchen. Nathaniel's jaw clenched. "You're right." "What?" "You're absolutely right. I am guilty. I am grateful. And maybe I am confused." He stepped closer. "But that doesn't change the fact that when I saw you jump in that pool, something in me woke up." "Nathaniel, let me finish. For 15 years I've been sleepwalking, going through motions, pretending my life was fine when it was rotting. And then you, this woman I ignored for 8 years, you showed me what courage actually looks like." Elara's throat tightened. "So maybe you're right. Maybe this is trauma. Maybe I don't know what I'm feeling." His voice dropped. "But I know I don't want you to leave." Before Elara could respond, footsteps rushed down the hallway. Maria burst in, face pale. "Turn on the TV. Now." Nathaniel grabbed the remote. The news filled the screen. A reporter stood outside the courthouse. "Breaking news tonight. Leaked recordings from the Buchanan case have gone viral, and they reveal more than just Olivia Buchanan's crimes." Elara's stomach dropped. The screen showed text messages between Nathaniel and someone named Richard. "Who's Richard?" Elara asked. Nathaniel's face went white. "My business partner," the reporter continued. "These messages suggest Nathaniel Buchanan knew about his wife's activities weeks before her arrest." "That's a lie," Nathaniel breathed. The messages scrolled on screen. "Richard, your wife's asking questions about offshore accounts." "Nathaniel, handle it." "Richard, she mentioned the housekeeper, says she's a problem." "Nathaniel, I'll deal with Olivia." "Richard, you sure? She's getting unstable." "Nathaniel, I said I'll handle it." The timestamp. 2 weeks before the party. Elara stared at the screen. "You knew." "No, that's out of context. You knew she was targeting me." "I knew she was upset. I didn't know she'd hire a hitman." "But you knew something was wrong, and you did nothing." Maria backed toward the door. "I'll give you 2 privacy." "No." "Stay." Elara's voice was cold. "I want a witness." Nathaniel ran his hand through his hair. Those texts make it look worse than it was. Then explain. Richard told me Olivia was acting paranoid, asking about money transfers. I thought she was worried about a prenup, that I was hiding assets. And the part about me? She mentioned you once, said you were getting too familiar. I told Richard I'd talk to her. Did you? Silence. Did you talk to her? Elara's voice rose. No, I avoided it. I thought if I ignored it, she'd drop it. So you did nothing. I didn't know. You suspected, and you did nothing. Nathaniel's phone started ringing. He ignored it. It rang again, and again. Finally, he answered. What? His expression changed. When? How bad? He hung up. The company's board just called an emergency meeting. They're voting to remove me as CEO. Because of the texts, Maria said. Because it looks like I enabled my wife's criminal behavior. More phones started ringing. Maria checked hers. It's all over social media. People are calling you complicit. The doorbell rang. Then pounding. Mr. Buchanan, it's the police. Everyone froze. Nathaniel opened the door. 2 officers stood there, different from before. Nathaniel Buchanan? Yes. We have a warrant for your arrest. Elara's heart stopped. On what charges? Accessory to attempted murder, obstruction of justice. You have the right to remain silent. This is insane. I helped you catch her. The text messages say otherwise. We need you to come with us. They put handcuffs on him. Luke appeared at the top of the stairs. Dad? It's okay, buddy. This is a mistake. I'll be home soon. But his voice cracked. They let him out. The door closed. Elara stood frozen. Luke ran down the stairs. What's happening? Maria pulled him close. Your dad's going to be okay. They arrested him, just like Mom. It's different. Is it? Luke looked at Elara, tears streaming. You said we'd be okay. You promised. Luke, everyone leaves. Everyone. He ran back upstairs. His door slammed. Maria looked at Elara. What are you going to do? I don't know. Those texts, do you think he knew? I think he suspected and did nothing, which might be worse. Elara's phone buzzed. Unknown number. She answered. Miss Lacey? A woman's voice. Yes. This is Channel 7 News. We'd like to interview you about the Buchanan case. We'll pay. Elara hung up. It rang again. Different number. She turned off her phone, looked at Maria. I need to leave. Now? Before this gets worse. What about Luke? Elara looked at the stairs, at the closed door. He'll be better off without me. I'm the reason all of this happened. That's not true. Isn't it? I should have quit after the party, should have walked away. Instead, I stayed and dragged them all into this mess. You saved that boy's life. And now his father's in jail. The words hung heavy. Maria touched her arm. Where will you go? I don't know. Somewhere far from here. Elara went to her room, packed a bag, came back downstairs. Tell Luke I'm sorry. Tell him yourself. I can't. She walked to the door, stopped, looked back at the mansion one last time, then left. Elara made it 3 blocks before the car pulled up beside her. Black SUV. Tinted windows. It stopped. The back door opened. Olivia sat inside. Get in. Elara's blood ran cold. You're supposed to be in jail. Bail got approved an hour ago. Funny what happens when you have the right lawyers. Olivia smiled. Now get in. We need to talk. I have nothing to say to you. Then listen, because if you don't, Luke dies tonight. Elara froze. You're bluffing. Am I? Olivia held up her phone. A live video feed showed Luke's bedroom. He was asleep, unaware. There's a man in that house right now. One text from me, and he finishes what he started at the pool. You wouldn't hurt your own son. He's not my son anymore. He betrayed me, chose you over his own mother. Elara's hands shook. What do you want? Get in. Elara climbed into the SUV. The door locked behind her. The driver pulled away. Where are we going? Somewhere private, where we can have an honest conversation. They drove for 20 minutes, left the city, headed toward the industrial district. Empty warehouses, abandoned lots. The SUV stopped in front of a dark building. Out. They walked inside. The space was empty except for a single chair under a hanging light. Sit. Elara sat. Olivia circled her like a predator. Do you know what you've taken from me? I haven't taken anything. My husband, my son, my freedom, my reputation. Olivia's voice rose. I had everything, and you destroyed it. You destroyed yourself. Olivia slapped her. The sound echoed through the warehouse. Elara's cheek burned. I gave you a job, a roof over your head, and this is how you repay me? You humiliated me, worked me to death, tried to have me killed. Because you were poison, you infected my family. Your family was already infected. I just showed everyone the truth. Olivia grabbed Elara's hair, yanked her head back. You think you've won? You think Nathaniel loves you? I don't care. He doesn't. He's using you. You're his redemption arc, his way to feel like a good person after years of being complicit in my crimes. The words stung because part of Elara believed them. Once the trial's over, he'll drop you. Move on. Find someone from his world. Olivia leaned close. You're not one of us. You'll never be one of us. Good. I don't want to be like you. Olivia let go, laughed. So brave, so noble, and so stupid. She pulled out her phone. Last chance. Leave town tonight. Disappear. Never contact my family again. Or what? Or I send the text, and Luke's death is on your hands. Elara's mind raced. You're lying. If you hurt Luke, you'll go back to jail. They'll never prove it was me. I have an alibi. I'm here with you. I'll tell them. Tell them what? That I kidnapped you? Where's your proof? Olivia gestured around. No cameras, no witnesses, just your word against mine. And we both know whose word carries more weight. Elara stood up. You're insane. I'm practical, something you've never understood. If you hurt Luke, Nathaniel will destroy you. Nathaniel can't destroy anyone. He's about to lose everything. The company, his freedom, his son. Because of your lies. Because he was weak. He could have stopped me years ago. Could have left me. Could have chosen to be a real father. Olivia's eyes glittered. But he didn't. He took the easy path, and now he's paying for it. Just like you're paying for trying to kill me. I haven't paid anything yet, but you will. Olivia's phone buzzed. She looked at it, smiled. It's done. What's done? Nathaniel just signed a confession. Says he knew about my plans all along, that he helped cover them up. That's impossible. He's in jail. His lawyer convinced him it was the only way to protect Luke, to keep custody. Olivia showed her the document, Nathaniel's signature at the bottom. He threw himself under the bus for his son. How touching. Elara felt sick. So here's what happens now. You leave. Tonight? Change your name. Start over somewhere far away. And if I don't? Then I leaked another recording. One that shows you and Nathaniel plotting against me, planning this whole thing together. That recording doesn't exist. Doesn't it? Olivia played a clip. Elara's voice. She's going to pay for what she did. Nathaniel's voice. We'll make sure of it. Heavily edited. but convincing. That's fake. Prove it. In court. While I have custody of Luke. While Nathaniel rots in prison. While your name gets dragged through every newspaper in the country. Olivia leaned in close. You're just a housekeeper. Nobody cares about you. Nobody will believe you. And nobody will save you. Elara's hands clenched into fists. I saved your son. Twice. And that was your first mistake. Olivia walked toward the door. You have until morning. After that, the recording goes public. And you'll wish I'd hired better help to kill you the first time. She left. The door slammed, locked from the outside. Elara was alone, trapped. She pulled out her phone. No signal. She screamed, pounded on the door. Nothing. She slid down against the wall. Olivia had won. Actually won. Unless... Elara looked at her phone again. No signal for calls. But maybe. She opened her photos, found the backup Luke had sent her. All 13 recordings, stored locally. Olivia didn't know about these. Elara smiled. The war wasn't over yet. Elara kicked the door. Again and again. On the 7th kick, the old lock broke. She ran. The warehouse district was dark, empty. She ran until she found a main road. Headlights approached. She waved her arms. The truck stopped. You okay, miss? An older man. Concerned eyes. I need to get to the police station, now. Hop in. 20 minutes later, she burst through the station doors. I need to see Nathaniel Buchanan. The desk sergeant looked up. Visiting hours are... This is about his case. I have evidence. That got his attention. What kind of evidence? Elara held up her phone. Proof that his wife set him up. 10 minutes later, she was in an interrogation room. Detective Morris sat across from her. Show me. Elara played the recordings. All 13. Morris's eyes widened with each one. This changes everything. Can you release Nathaniel? Not that simple. He signed a confession. Under duress, Olivia threatened Luke. Can you prove that? Elara pulled up the video Olivia showed her in the SUV. She had someone watching Luke's room. She showed me live footage. Morris grabbed her radio. I need units at the Buchanan estate. Possible intruder. Child in danger. She looked at Elara. Anything else? Olivia's out. She said her bail got approved. She kidnapped me from the street. Morris's face hardened. Her bail was denied. She's supposed to be in lockup. Then how? Someone helped her escape. Morris stood. Stay here. Don't move. She left. Elara sat alone, hands shaking, mind racing. The door opened. Nathaniel walked in, still in his orange jumpsuit, unshaven, exhausted, but alive. Elara. His voice broke. She stood. They stared at each other. Morris said you have the recordings. All of them, including ones where Olivia admits to framing you. Luke's backup. He's smarter than all of us. Nathaniel moved closer. I thought you left. Maria said you were gone. I was. Then Olivia found me. His expression darkened. She hurt you? She threatened Luke. Said she'd have him killed if I didn't disappear. That's why I signed the confession. Her lawyer said if I admitted guilt, she'd leave Luke alone. You believed her? I didn't have a choice. Elara grabbed his hands. There's always a choice. You taught me that. Nathaniel's eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry. For the texts. For not acting sooner. For letting it get this far. Did you know she was planning to hurt me? I suspected she was angry. Jealous. But murder? He shook his head. I never thought she'd actually. But you didn't stop her. No, I didn't. And I'll regret that for the rest of my life. The door opened again. Morris and 3 other officers. We found him. The man watching Luke's room. He had a gun. Elara's knees went weak. Luke is safe. We got there before anything happened. He's with Maria at a safe location. Nathaniel exhaled. Thank God. The man's talking. Says Olivia hired him 3 days ago. Paid him to watch the kid and wait for instructions. She was going to kill her own son, Elara whispered. We've issued a warrant for her arrest. Every cop in the state is looking for her. Morris looked at Nathaniel. Based on the new evidence, the DA's dropping the charges against you. You're free to go. Nathaniel stood frozen. Just like that? Just like that. They removed his handcuffs, gave him his personal items back. You'll need to testify at Olivia's trial. I'll be there. Morris turned to Elara. You too. You're our star witness. Whatever it takes. Nathaniel and Elara walked out of the police station together. Dawn was breaking. Pink and orange across the sky. A new day. Where do we go from here? Elara asked. First, we get Luke. Make sure he's okay. And after that? Nathaniel stopped walking, looked at her. I know I have no right to ask. Not after everything, but don't. Elara, I'm not leaving. The words came out strong, clear. I'm not running. Not from Olivia. Not from this mess. And not from you. Why? Because someone has to stay and fight. Might as well be me. Nathaniel smiled. Broken, but real. You're incredible. You know that? I'm stubborn. There's a difference. A car pulled up. Maria and Luke inside. Luke jumped out. Ran to them. Dad. Miss Elara. He hugged them both. Held tight. I thought Mom got you, he sobbed. We're okay, Nathaniel said. We're all okay. Is she gone? Really gone? She will be. Soon. Luke pulled back. Looked at Elara. You came back. I promised I wouldn't leave, remember? People break promises. Not me. Maria stepped out of the car. We should go. Get somewhere safe. The media's everywhere. They climbed in. As they drove away, Elara looked back at the police station. Somewhere out there, Olivia was running. But not for long. The truth was out. And this time, it wouldn't be buried. They found Olivia at the airport. Private terminal. Trying to board a jet to Switzerland. Fake passport. New identity. $2 million in cash. She fought the officers, screamed, clawed. It took 4 of them to get the handcuffs on. The video went viral in minutes. Elara watched it on the news with Nathaniel and Luke. She looks different, Luke said quietly. He was right. Without the designer clothes and perfect hair, Olivia looked ordinary, desperate, human. Is it really over? Luke asked. Not yet, Nathaniel said. But soon. The trial started 2 weeks later. The courtroom was packed. Cameras everywhere. This was the story of the year. Billionaire wife. Murder plot. Escaped custody. Caught at the airport. The media ate it up. Elara took the stand on day 3. Olivia's lawyer tried to destroy her. Called her a liar. A gold digger. Said she seduced Nathaniel to steal the family fortune. Isn't it true you wanted Mrs. Buchanan out of the picture? No. You saved the child twice. Very convenient. Almost like you planned it. I saved him because he was drowning. Or because you wanted to look like a hero. Win the father's affection. Elara looked directly at Olivia. I didn't need to do anything. She destroyed herself. The prosecutor played the recordings. All 13. Olivia's voice filled the courtroom. Her plotting. Her threats. Her complete lack of remorse. I don't care how you do it, just make it look like an accident. The kid was leverage. That's all he ever was. I wish you hadn't saved him. The jury's faces said everything. Luke testified next. 8 years old, but steady. Strong. My mom tried to have Miss Elara killed. And when that didn't work, the man she hired tried to kill me instead. He held up his tablet. I recorded everything because I knew nobody would believe me otherwise. By the end, half the jury was crying. Olivia's lawyer tried one last move. Put Olivia on the stand. Biggest mistake of the trial. Mrs. Buchanan, do you love your son? Of course. Then why did the man you hired attempt to drown him? That was a mistake. A miscommunication. I never wanted Luke hurt. The prosecutor stood. You said on tape, and I quote, "I wish you hadn't saved him." Who were you referring to? Olivia's face went blank. I was upset. I didn't mean... Answer the question. Who did you wish wasn't saved? I was angry. People say things... Your 8-year-old son almost died, and you said you wished he hadn't been saved. Yes or no? Silence. No further questions. The jury deliberated for 2 hours. Guilty on all counts. Conspiracy to commit murder. Attempted murder. Child endangerment. Obstruction of justice. Olivia showed no emotion when the verdict was read. Just stared straight ahead. The judge spoke. Olivia Buchanan, you have been found guilty of heinous crimes against an innocent woman and your own child. The evidence shows a complete lack of conscience or remorse. She paused. I hereby sentence you to 30 years in prison. No possibility of parole for 25 years. The courtroom erupted. Olivia finally reacted, stood up, screamed. This is wrong. I'm Olivia Buchanan. You can't do this to me. The bailiffs dragged her out. She looked at Elara one last time. Pure hatred in her eyes. Then she was gone. Outside the courthouse, Nathaniel held Luke's hand. Elara stood beside them. Reporters shouted questions. Nathaniel raised his hand. Silence fell. My son showed more courage in 8 years than I showed in 40. He protected someone who couldn't protect herself, and in doing so, he saved all of us. He looked at Elara. This woman risked her life twice for my family, asked for nothing in return. She's the definition of heroic. He turned to Luke. And this kid right here? He's my hero, today and every day. Luke smiled, small but real. No more questions. We're going home. They walked to the car, away from the cameras, the chaos, the nightmare. As they drove away, Elara watched the courthouse disappear in the rearview mirror. 30 years. Olivia would be 68 when she got out. Luke would be 38. A whole life lived without her poison. You okay? Nathaniel asked quietly. Yeah, I think I am. Luke leaned forward from the back seat. Can we get ice cream? After everything they'd been through, the request was so normal it made them laugh. Yeah, buddy, we can get ice cream. If you've made it this far, you're part of something special. This story isn't just entertainment. It's proof that courage wins, that standing up matters, that the invisible become unforgettable. Hit that like button if Elara inspired you. Subscribe if you believe good people deserve good endings, because Luke's not done yet. Neither is Elara. And what comes next? That's where everything changes. Drop a comment telling me, would you have jumped in that pool initially? 6 months later. Elara stood outside Buchanan Enterprises, not as a housekeeper, as an employee. Nathaniel had offered her a position, Director of Operations. You organized an entire household for 8 years, he'd said. Running a company isn't that different. She'd laughed. It's completely different. Then learn. I'll teach you. So she did. She walked through the lobby in a business suit, heels clicking on marble. Employees nodded as she passed. 6 months ago, they wouldn't have noticed her. Now they reported to her. Morning, Miss Lacey. the receptionist said. "Morning, Sarah." She took the elevator to the 15th floor. Her office was next to Nathaniel's, smaller, but hers. She sat at her desk, opened her laptop. Emails flooded in. Meeting requests, project updates, budget approvals, real work, important work. A knock on her door. "Come in." Nathaniel entered, 2 coffees in hand. "Thought you could use this. You're a lifesaver." He sat across from her. "Board meeting in an hour. You ready?" "As ready as I'll ever be. They're going to push back on the community outreach program. Let them. The numbers don't lie. Investing in local education benefits everyone." Nathaniel smiled. "You sound like a CEO. Don't get any ideas. I'm still learning." "You're a natural." Elara took a sip of coffee, looked at him. 6 months and things were still complicated. They worked together, raised Luke together, but they hadn't crossed that line. Not yet. "Luke has a soccer game tonight," Nathaniel said. "You coming?" "Wouldn't miss it." "He's been asking if you're bringing anyone." "Anyone?" "He thinks you should date. Says you're too pretty to be alone." Elara laughed. "He's 8. What does he know about dating?" "More than you'd think." "He made a list of qualities you should look for." "He didn't." Nathaniel pulled out his phone, showed her. Luke's handwriting. Miss Elara's perfect match. 1. Nice to kids. 2. Not mean like mom. 3. Likes soccer. 4. Makes her smile. 5. Maybe dad? Elara's heart stopped. "He left this on my desk yesterday," Nathaniel said quietly. "Nathaniel, I know. Too soon. Too complicated. We work together. Luke's still healing. There are a million reasons why this is a terrible idea." "Exactly. But I can't stop thinking about you." The words hung between them. "We tried this conversation 6 months ago," Elara said. "Remember how it ended? You said I was confused, that I felt guilty. And? You were right. I was." Nathaniel leaned forward. "But 6 months later, I'm still here, still feeling this. Still wanting—" A knock interrupted them. Maria poked her head in. "Sorry to interrupt. Luke's school called. He got in a fight." Both of them stood immediately. "Is he okay?" Elara asked. "Physically, yes, but the principal wants to see you both." They drove to the school in silence. Luke sat in the principal's office, bruised knuckle, torn shirt, but his head was high. "What happened?" Nathaniel asked. "A kid said Miss Elara was just a maid, that she didn't belong at the company." The principal cleared her throat. "Luke punched him." "Good," Elara said. The principal's eyes widened. "Excuse me?" "I mean—" Elara caught herself. "Violence isn't the answer, but standing up for people matters." Luke looked at her. "He said you were nobody, that you only got your job because Dad felt sorry for you." "Luke," Nathaniel started. "But you're not nobody. You saved my life. You're the bravest person I know." Tears stung Elara's eyes. The principal sighed. "Mr. Buchanan, Luke's suspended for 3 days. We have a zero-tolerance policy for violence." "Understood." They walked Luke to the car. He climbed in the back, silent, ashamed. "You shouldn't have hit him," Nathaniel said gently. "I know. But I'm proud of you for defending Elara." Luke looked up. "Really? Really? Next time, use your words. But yeah, really." They drove home. Luke went to his room. Nathaniel and Elara stood in the kitchen, the same kitchen where this all started. "He loves you," Nathaniel said. "As much as I do." Elara turned. "What?" "I love you. I've been trying not to say it for 6 months, trying to be professional, appropriate. Give you space." "Nathaniel, but I can't anymore. I love you, not because you saved Luke, Not because I feel guilty, but because you're you." He stepped closer. "You're brilliant, stubborn, brave. You challenge me. You make me want to be better. We work together. Then we'll figure it out." Luke literally made a list hoping we'd get together. "It's too complicated." "So what?" Nathaniel touched her face. "You jumped into a pool twice without thinking. Take a chance on this." Elara's breath caught. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? She looked at him. Really looked. This man who'd been a coward but learned to be brave, who'd chosen his son over his fortune, who'd fought for her when no one else would. "One condition," she said. "Anything. If this falls apart, I keep my job." Nathaniel laughed. "Deal." He leaned in. Their lips met. Soft. Careful. Perfect. Upstairs, a door opened. Luke's voice echoed down. "Finally." They broke apart, laughing. "You were listening?" Nathaniel called up. "Obviously. It took you guys forever." Elara shook her head. "What did we just get ourselves into?" "Everything," Nathaniel said. And he was right. 1 year later. Elara stood on stage in front of 500 people. The annual Women in Business Conference, San Francisco. She'd been invited to speak. Her, the former housekeeper who couldn't afford college. "Good morning," she said into the microphone. Her voice echoed through the ballroom. 2 years ago, I was invisible. I cleaned toilets, scrubbed floors, served champagne to people who didn't know my name." The audience leaned forward. "One of those people humiliated me in front of a room full of strangers, made me kneel and scrub a stain that didn't exist, just to prove she could." Silence. Complete silence. "That woman tried to have me killed, and when that failed, she tried to kill her own son to keep me quiet." Gasps rippled through the crowd. But here's what she didn't count on. She didn't count on an 8-year-old boy being braver than every adult in that mansion. She didn't count on me refusing to disappear. And she definitely didn't count on her husband finally growing a spine. Scattered laughter. Today, that woman is in prison. Her son is thriving. And I run a division of a billion-dollar company. Applause erupted. Elara waited for it to die down. "I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you because someone here needs to hear it. Someone in this room feels invisible, powerless, like the world has already decided who you are and what you're worth." She paused. "I'm here to tell you they're wrong." The applause was deafening now. After the speech, women lined up to talk to her. "You inspired me to quit my toxic job. I reported my abusive boss because of your story. My daughter wants to be like you when she grows up." Each story hit different. Each one mattered. Nathaniel waited in the back of the room, Luke beside him. "She's amazing," Luke said. "Yeah, she is." When the crowd finally cleared, they walked over. Luke hugged her. "You were so cool." "Thanks, buddy." Nathaniel kissed her cheek. "Proud of you. It's just a speech. It's never just anything with you." They walked out to the car. Luke chattered about the conference, the food, the fancy hotel. But Elara was quiet. "What's wrong?" Nathaniel asked when they got to the hotel room. Luke was in the connecting room, watching TV. "Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. And that scares me." "Why?" "Because I keep waiting for it to fall apart. For someone to realize I don't belong here." Nathaniel pulled her close. "You earned this. Every bit of it." "Did I? Or did you just give me a job because you felt guilty?" "At first? Maybe guilt played a part. But you've tripled our community outreach, cut operational costs by 20%, negotiated deals I couldn't close." He tilted her chin up. "You're not here because of me. You're here because you're brilliant. A knock on the connecting door. Can I come in? Luke's voice. Yeah. He walked in, holding a folder. What's that? Elara asked. Something I made. For you. He handed it to her. Inside were drawings, articles about her speech, printouts of comments from social media. People are calling you a hero, Luke said. I made a scrapbook so you remember. Elara's eyes filled with tears. Luke, this is... I know you get scared sometimes, that you think you don't deserve good things, but you do. You deserve everything. She pulled him into a hug. This kid. This incredible kid. Thank you, she whispered. Later that night, after Luke fell asleep, Elara stood on the hotel balcony. City lights stretched forever. Nathaniel joined her. Can't sleep? Too much in my head. Good thoughts or bad thoughts? Both. Mostly good. He wrapped his arms around her from behind. I have something to tell you. Should I be worried? The board approved your proposal. The scholarship fund for kids from low-income families. Elara spun around. Seriously? Full funding, starting next year. She threw her arms around him. That's incredible. It was your idea, your passion. You convinced them. We convinced them. No, this was all you. Elara looked up at the stars. 2 years ago, she was scrubbing floors. Now she was changing lives. I want to do more, she said suddenly. More? A mentorship program for young women stuck in jobs they hate. Show them there's a way out. Nathaniel smiled. I'll back you. You don't even know what it'll cost. I don't care. If you believe in it, so do I. Elara kissed him. Deep and real. When they pulled apart, she was smiling. What? He asked. I'm happy. Actually, genuinely happy. I forgot what this feels like. Get used to it. You're stuck with me now. And Luke. And Luke, the world's best wingman. They laughed. Went back inside. Luke was still asleep, clutching his tablet like always, recording their lives, protecting them, their little hero. Elara climbed into bed, Nathaniel beside her. For the first time in her entire life, she felt safe. Not because someone was protecting her, but because she'd learned to protect herself. She'd gone from invisible to unstoppable. From victim to victor. From housekeeper to CEO in training. The girl who once scrubbed floors now walked on them with her head held high. And tomorrow? Tomorrow she'd help someone else do the same. Because that's what survivors do. They survive, then they thrive. Then they lift others up. Elara closed her eyes. The future stretched ahead. Bright. Limitless. Hers. 5 years later. Elara stood at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. The building behind her was glass and steel. Modern. Beautiful. The sign above the door read, Lacey Foundation, Empowering the Invisible. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. But Elara only saw the faces in the crowd. Former housekeepers, janitors, nannies, servers. People society overlooked. People like she used to be. 5 years ago, I was nobody, Elara said into the microphone. Today, I'm opening the 20th location of a foundation that's helped over 10,000 women escape toxic situations and build real careers. Applause thundered. Luke stood beside her. 13 now. Tall. Confident. Nathaniel on her other side. Her husband of 3 years. The ring on her finger still felt surreal sometimes. This foundation exists because one 8-year-old boy refused to stay silent. Because he recorded the truth when everyone else ignored it. She looked at Luke. He smiled. And because one man finally chose to do the right thing, even when it cost him everything. Nathaniel squeezed her hand. But mostly, this exists because I jumped. Twice. into a pool to save a drowning child. Not because I was brave, but because it was right. The crowd was silent now, hanging on every word. Someone here is drowning right now, not in water, in debt, in abuse, in a life that's killing you slowly. Elara's voice strengthened. I'm telling you to jump. Take the risk. Leave the job. Report the abuse. Apply for the position you think you don't deserve. Tears streamed down faces in the audience. You are not invisible. You never were. The world just wasn't looking. She cut the ribbon. The crowd erupted. Inside the building, 50 women waited. First class of the new location. They'd learn job skills, interview techniques, financial literacy. Everything Elara wished she'd known at 28. A woman approached her, young, nervous. Miss Lacey, I'm Rosa. I clean houses. Have for 6 years. But I want more. Elara took her hands. Then let's get you more. That evening, back home, the three of them sat in the kitchen. The same kitchen where it all started. Mom called today, Luke said casually. Elara and Nathaniel both froze. What? Nathaniel asked. From prison. She wanted to talk. What did you say? Luke shrugged. I told her I'd think about it, then hung up. You don't have to talk to her, Elara said gently. I know, but maybe someday. When I'm ready. He looked at them. She's still my mom, even if she was terrible. Nathaniel's eyes glistened. You're wiser than I ever was at your age. I had good teachers. Later, after Luke went to bed, Elara and Nathaniel stood by the pool. The same pool where everything changed. You ever think about that night? Nathaniel asked. Every day. Regret any of it? Elara looked at the water, remembered the terror, the cold, the desperate fight to save a child. Not for a second. You changed all our lives. We changed each other's lives. Nathaniel pulled her close. I love you, Olivia Buchanan. I love you too. They kissed under the stars. The pool lights glowed below them. A reminder. Sometimes you have to jump into the deep end. Sometimes you have to save someone to save yourself. Sometimes the people you rescue end up rescuing you right back. Elara looked up at the mansion. Once a prison. Now a home. She'd gone from scrubbing these floors to owning half the company that built them. From invisible to unforgettable. From victim to victor. From housekeeper to hero. And somewhere in a cell, Olivia Buchanan sat alone. Powerless. Forgotten. Exactly what she'd tried to make Elara. Justice wasn't always loud. Sometimes it was quiet. Like a housekeeper walking away from a mansion with her head held high. Like a boy who refused to stop recording. Like a man who finally found his courage. The stars stretched overhead. Infinite. Possible. Free. Elara smiled. She'd jumped into the deep end 5 years ago, and she'd never stopped swimming. This is where Elara's story ends. But yours? Yours is just beginning. If this story moved you, if you felt something shift inside, then do not just scroll past. Hit that like and subscribe button right now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. Comment below. I jumped. If you've ever taken a risk that changed your life. I read every single one. Your story matters. Your courage matters. And here's the truth. Nobody tells you. You're one decision away from a completely different life. One jump. One moment of courage. The question is, will you take it? Or will you stay invisible forever? Like. Subscribe. Jump. See you in the next story. And I promise, it's going to be heartwarming and educative to you in the best way possible.